Hello, Magic Maker! So today I've got something a little bit different for you because it's a suggestion for reading that you can use for interviewing your deck so that you can learn more about it and how to work with it to get the most out of it and how to bond with it too. And there are two reasons why I want to share this with you, because the first one is I think it's really super cool. And the second is that I received my brand new deck yesterday and I kind of needed an excuse to show you what it looks like. And I also did this reading yesterday, so it's all fresh in my mind and I want to share some tips how to interpret the cards with you. So let's dive into it. So first of all, I want to say that this idea for a deck interview hasn't come up just like that from the heavens to me. I have actually found it on the Little Red Tarot blog, which is a really super cool alternative blog about tarot. So I really suggest you go ahead and check it out because it's really inspiring and there is a lot of great ideas over there. And the reason I love this reading and the whole idea of interviewing your tarot deck is that basically it approaches your deck as if it was a living entity. You kind of have a conversation with your cards before you even start working with them. Now, of course, you can use this reading even if you have been using your cards for ages, but I really find it useful, especially if you get a new deck and now you want to discover all about it and you have a fresh mind and you haven't really had any experience with it yet, so you're kind of a tabula rasa, ready for what your relationship will be like. So I'll give you the exact questions that you want to ask in a second, but to summarize, what you will learn from this deck interview is basically how you can collaborate with your deck the best way possible, what the deck can teach you, how you can use it the best, how you should not be using it because maybe that's not what the deck is best for, and really how you can get the most out of your collaboration in general. So there are 6 foundational questions, but of course you can ask as many as you like. Again, no rules apply. It's your deck and your reading, so you can ask whatever you want. But what you want to know is that before every new question, you want to shuffle the whole deck again and put the previous cards that you drew in back again because they might come up. Again, I've been using the word again a lot. So the first question, ready? The first question is, what is your most important characteristic as a deck? And now, this is my moment. I gotta show you my beautiful new Circo Tarot cards, and this is what came up for me. It was the 6 of Knives, which would be 6 of Swords. I'm so bad with this mirroring thing, I can't turn it properly. And so the most important characteristic of my deck is finding balance in between the head and the heart, and really helping me to make decisions that are grounded in both the head and the heart, which is perfect. That's exactly what you want from a deck. And actually, I love this card. It's very pretty and very harmonious, which is very unusual for the knives or for the swords. The 6 is one of the best cards you can find in the swords. So I was very happy for that one. So the second question is, what are your strengths as a deck? Which is really good to give you an idea about what the deck will be best used for, okay? And for me, the 4 of Wands came up. Again, a beautiful, colorful card. And the 4 of Wands are all about celebration, harmony, working together, and having fun, really. It's kind of like a harmonious dance that you have with somebody and create something beautiful. So the strength of this deck for me is that I will be able to create beautiful things with it, and that it will charge me with positive energy, which totally makes sense because this is definitely one of the most colorful decks I've had so far. The third question is, what are your limits as a deck? Which actually gives you an idea on how not to use the deck, maybe. And for me, the 6 of Wands came up, which again is a very positive, beautiful card, all about victory and celebration. So basically what the deck is telling me is my biggest weakness is in my biggest strength, because I'm a really positive, good vibe deck, so I'm not really good for shadow work. And again, this makes a lot of sense. Like I said, it's very colorful, very bright, very cheery and funky. So when I want to look into something deeper and go into the shadow, this is not my first go-to deck at all. This will be kind of like my cheering up deck. The fourth question is, what are you here to teach me? A really interesting one. So for me, the lovers came up, but interestingly, they came up in reverse, so in their shadow meaning. And what that tells me, this deck is here to teach me about acceptance and unconditional love through frustration and conflict. The reason why is that I can already see how this deck is going to be challenging for me because the artwork is so different from what I'm used to, and some of the images are really hard to interpret for me. So I will have some difficult time with it, but that's exactly the point. The deck is here to teach me, you know what, it's okay, you can trust me, you can trust yourself, even though you don't understand it right now. I am here to guide you, I'm here to love you, and you're here to do the same. The fifth question is, how can I best learn and collaborate with you? And for me, the Eight of Wands came up, and again they came up in reverse, so in their shadow meaning. Now, Eight of Wands are usually all about swiftness, velocity, making quick decisions, moving on. So when I got it reversed, this deck is telling me the best way how to work with it and learn from it is not to have it as the first go-to deck, to take it a little bit slower with this one. Because what I usually do is I dive into the shadow first, and like I've already said, this is not the deck for it. So after I am done with shadow work, this might be the deck that I would go to for some reassurance or for some motivation or for simply like a kick in the bum, really, that will push me forward and give me some positive motivation. And finally, the last question is, what is the possible outcome of our collaboration? Now, for me, the Nine of Cups came up, a beautiful card that is all about joy, happiness, and emotional abundance. So if I use this deck in the right way and for the right purpose, which has already given me guidance on how to do that, this is what it will bring me. So obviously you will get completely different cards, and if you have a difficult time with interpreting them, then I really suggest you go ahead and try to have like an actual conversation with them, because after all, you are interviewing the cards. So imagine you are speaking with an actual person and ask additional questions and wait for the answers, and I'm really sure you will get what you need to know. Now, if you want to get even a little bit more advanced, you can also pay attention to how many major versus minor arcana cards you get in the deck interview. So for example, in my case, the majority of the cards were actually from minor arcana, which tells me that this deck will be best used in like everyday situations, everyday hassles, struggles, challenges, or gifts, because there's only one major arcana card. Unlike for the Fountain Tarot deck, for example, my super favorite one, where the majority of cards that I got was actually major arcana, which gives me a hint that this one is a really strong, deep deck for me that will allow me to get really to the core of issues and really get huge lessons out of it that will probably have like a lifetime meaning for me, not just a day-to-day lifespan kind of a thing. So this is it for the deck interview. I'm really sorry this video was much longer than what it usually is, but hey, I had to show you all my new cards. I'm sorry. So I really hope you found it helpful. I hope you will use it and interview your decks. And again, please let me know what you found out. I'm really super curious, and also what decks you have interviewed. And if you have any issues with interpreting any cards, put it down below in the comments as well, and if I'm around, I might give you a hand. I love doing this stuff. So until next time, I'll see you and have a great day. Bye!